Indian movies of 2022. And finally, number 1 goes to RRR. Imagine a country from where a creator is absolutely being celebrated internationally for his sheer vision, for his audacity, for his balls to the wall filmmaking, and more importantly, his conviction. A movie from India that has crossed boundaries and cultures and is being celebrated globally is criticized the most by its own people. It isn't highbrow enough for the Oscars, it's just one action set piece after the other. The criticism of S.S. Rajamouli and his venture RRR became so toxic in the Indian film space online that people started mocking him for his top 10 films, insinuating that his choices are not intellectual enough to be even considered in the big leagues. This intellectual echo chamber is insufferable, and I can with no shame claim RRR to be one of the most fascinating and immersive movie experiences in theatres for me this year. A tale of brotherhood told on such a massive scale and conviction that Indians should be proud of rather than what we usually do, fight amongst ourselves while the world is going gaga. Imagine not being the official submission to the Oscars from your country and still getting nominated. That's how the film has transcended, and if it wins, if I get to see Ram Charan and Junior NTR dance on Natu Natu on the Oscar stage and it winning Best Song, I would love to see the faces of those who are trying everything in the book to discredit its quality. The views on that show will be off the charts. It's not only poetic but beautifully crafted. Number 2 goes to Kantara. I think one thriller film, there is no way I'm going to miss that opportunity of watching that movie in the theatre on its opening weekend. I remember Kantara had released in just a select few theatres in North India, and I had gone for that one show in the evening. That immersive experience will never go out of my head. That organic, visceral and almost out-of-body experience that I had, embraced it and wanted more of it. As things do get embroiled in debates about being overhyped or overrated when they garner massive public support, Kantara was subjected to the same discussions. But I will never ever forget the engaging experience Rishabh took me on, the dedication he clearly showcased in each frame, the trance-like state he made audiences achieve, and most importantly, told a story that was his truth so poetically. I don't think anyone can take that away from him, no matter how many Twitter forums start and end about the film. Before I discuss the number 1 position for me, who will watch it for the first time, trust me, you're in for an absolutely wild ride. Number 3 goes to Kadaisi Vivasai. Written and directed by M. Manikandan, it still breaks my heart on how little attention has been given to this gem of a film. A nuanced tale that deserves everyone's attention. The film sheds light on the trials and tribulations that simple, frugal and almost stoic individuals deal with while being hounded by capitalistic young folk who want to sell his land, the disintegration of sustenance farming and the loss of societal unity that is riddled with caste differences. The movie provides a commentary on the rapid corporatization of most processes and the complete dissolution of the individual. Nalandi with a gut-wrenching performance just wanting to tend to his field will make your heart reach out for him. A layered Vijay Sethupathi performance is an icing on the cake and but beautifully crafted. 4 goes to Jaya 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 Hey. A film that can be best described as Chota Packet Bada Dhamaka not only for the scale of the movie and how the audience resonated with the content, but in a domestic life that slowly brims to the point of being unbearable. But this film tethers the impossible line of presenting an entertaining movie and still getting its compelling social point across. I believe its task was even tougher than The Great Indian Kitchen, and the director, and especially Basil Joseph and Darshana Rajendran, for making every single sequence believable, deserve all the praise. I can't tell you the number of elevation scenes in this movie, and those who will watch it for the first time, trust me, you're in for an absolutely wild ride. 5 goes to Vikram. When one is formulating their best lists for movies, at least this is my opinion, it shouldn't be restricted to films that only account for the artistic debates and discussions on social media, but those films that have a ground impact with the masses, an ability and art form that is often not given its due respect among film circles. And one film that delivered that, and I mean mass entertainment this year, was definitely Vikram. It's an absolute joke the number of theatre response videos I may have seen for this film. The theatre atmosphere was absolutely electric. The complex storyline aside, the sheer marriage of Lokesh's visuals and Anirudh's music accounted for so many moments that make for what we know as mass cinema so special. Vijay Sethupathi, Hasan are in such fine form. A film with one of the most memorable interval blocks and conclusions. I'm still looking forward to the Argentina spin-off and how Rolex really screws shit up in the installments ahead. The Loki verse is something that I'm fully invested in. Goes to Gargi. A film that absolutely dropped my jaw this year was definitely the Sai Pallavi starrer Gargi, directed by Gautam Ramachandran. Based on the imprisonment of the patriarch of a simple family and the daughter's pursuit of justice for her father, whom she feels has been wrongfully accused and kept in custody. The slow unraveling of events in this film really left me shocked and truly speechless. The staging and cinematography of the film and Kali Venkat is one thing, but truly the effective screenplay by Gautam Ramachandran and Hariharan Raju are the real heroes. I assure you, you'll be caught off guard with the climax of this film, making you question several of the preconceived notions you have. Number 7 goes to Jana Gana Mana. A film that caught me so off guard and for so many reasons was the Malayalam courtroom and social drama Jana Gana Mana. The ability of creators to really question several of our systems that we consider to be the mantle of truth or justice was really showcased in this film. Courtroom dramas often tend to deviate towards inspirational fluff and preaching, but this film really presented hard-hitting truths. The film speaks about the several facets of our society today, the credibility of the media, trials orchestrated by them for ratings, the nameless, faceless puppeteers that often call the shots, and the city of common folk to abide by not what they know is right, but what is told to them, and most importantly, the concept of truth and justice. A film with a lot to pack in, but worth every minute, with exceptional performances by Prithviraj and Suraj especially. It goes to Nathan Kesakodu, a film that I terribly pronounced and I missed watching in the theatre as it released on the same weekend as Talumala, and boy did I miss out on the absolute hilarious ride I would have had in a packed theatre with Keralites. The film is absolutely hilarious, never transitioning to becoming gimmicky or over the top in its screenplay merits, but the characters of this world are the ones that stay with you. Whether it be the police officer who always ends up stating the obvious, the new recruit who is a sticker for rules, constantly talking about laws pertaining to arrests, a milk seller and the unfiltered nature with which he confesses to every possible sin in his life, the hilarious ride or die and absolutely in love couple that totally won my heart, or my favorite, the judge played by P.P. Kunni Krishnan, who hits it out of the park completely. His reactions, dialogue delivery, his ADHD and the case of flying pigeons, all of it created for such a beautiful mixture of comedy while still being socially relevant. To Kala, I was genuinely getting concerned whether Hindi cinema will have a standout knockout film that I will absolutely fall in love with, and in came Anvita Dutt with the most gut-wrenching yet aesthetically beautiful film titled Kala, showcasing a heartbreaking performance by Tripti Dimri and an intimidating Swastika. Their toxic relationship and the never-ending pursuit of validation was a trip to the 40s I just did not want to get out of. The slow degradation of the human mind when only love, empathy and kindness is missing takes the talented Kala in a spiral that not only makes us empathize with her but beg for some form of closure. The angelic music by Amit Trivedi and a powerful tale told by a director who will only get better. Kala really came as such a surprise, making me also excited to see what Tripti Dimri and Anvita Dutt have up their sleeve in their upcoming ventures. Number 10 goes to Love Today, a film that I was recommended by the Tamil film fanbase here, and I went into the theatre not really expecting much other than the fact that Pradeep Ranganathan has exceptional potential as a creator, but my god was the experience an absolute laugh riot. I can really debate about this film's social implications and why people have problems with it, but one thing that cannot be denied about this movie is its brilliant screenplay and impeccable editing. From the accuracy of how the young demographic talks to each other to the crazier revelations that follow, causing many cracks in the relationship between contemporary and still be bloody entertaining. I genuinely regret not having the opportunity to watch this in a Chennai packed theatre on its opening weekend.